too is that the DoD uses holographic computing, and that's like Jade Helm 2.0. And holographic computing is akin to singularity artificial intelligence, which is synonymous with the event horizon of a black hole, because when the information dies from a singularity, if it witnessed such of a black hole, then it becomes a notion of energy, and that's holography, and that can be reconfigured and inherited to a person's conscious sentient understanding, which is the notion of a hologram. Say you have a credit card in your hand, and you move the credit card has a hologram, and you move the credit card around in your hand, you can see different parts of the hologram reflecting from light above you or wherever the light is around you based off your conscious sentient awareness. But what is actually moving? Is it your hand that is moving, the hologram, or is it your conscious personification of objective awareness that is delineating the entire thing? It's consciousness that is perceiving where the light is on the hologram, and that's sort of like how the sun or how the earth goes around the sun, and it perceives different days and different nights, but collectively it's all there. So consciousness frequency equals higher dimensions can supersede the entire weight of a hologram, even of a universe, and see everything at once. That is Christ's cosmic intelligence. So what they use to duplicate this is called quantum annealing, and Dwave specifically, but not limited to, such artificial intelligent constructs by the negative alien agenda, the parties of the Antichrist, 20 different known negative and negative aliens, extraterrestrials, reptilians, Zeta, Greys, Anunnaki, fallen angelics, lots of crazy stuff no one knows about. They can link to this artificial intelligence system with the nanotechnology, and depending on who they are and their ranking and what is their role of from the system, they will utilize them and connect them to different paths of the manipulation of the nature of reality of real helper space. And that's like a quantum level of syntax in the fourth dimension, or in third dimensions, length, width, and height. And then the fourth dimension, some will say, is time, and that's considered more or less real helper space. And that means it can all be gauged and measured because there's a frequency, so it's always going to exist, because quantum physics informs us energy never dies. So since that energy is never going to die, it's always there, it's always relative, and based on a person's conscious sentient awareness or the artificial intelligent construct technology they have that they can even link to their brain, they can always identify what is happening anywhere and everywhere, and they can manipulate the nature of reality against you. So what quantum annealing is what D-Wave uses, which is linked to my digital twin, and it's linked to everyone actually unknowingly to you. Is like, say there's one atom here, and there's a million atoms but here, and then there's that, this is the millionth atom, this is the first atom. All the atoms are linked, and they're held together by the quantum field of electromagnetic energy called scalar energy. So since that's all linked and it's always happening, that's relative to the notion of holography, because it's all linked and it's always happening. So it's like false God technology, because Christ, organic consciousness, God steps outside of space and time and can supersede the entire universe via the eye of God, right? And looking down, but not actually looking down, because, well, he's everywhere. But to challenge this, they use quantum supremacy, and that's quantum annealing, where they can gauge the relative notion of a single qubit of a quantum annealing system. Quantum uses something called a qubit, a superposition of states, of where binary computing and digital computing do 0 and 1 independently, but quantum computing do 0 and 1 simultaneously, and that's called a block sphere, a qubit, an atom, a physical bit, like a physical atom that you can't see, that's used in computers, called quantum computing. So it can gauge all measurements. A mmeasurement's like a solution of a math problem. So it can gauge all measurements of all math problems simultaneously in like 30 seconds or less. And imagine there's a million qubits right here solving an advanced problem of whatever you pick. So that's what they use to mimic the relativity of space and time to control the future, by linking people's brains like metadata, psyche profiling to these systems, and then understanding due diligence of how to control the Hamiltonian, which is the smallest average number of atomic energy, to the greatest general relativity of a groupthink hive mind of all of Earth, of what is and what is not. So this is technology that's way beyond people's understanding.